All right, hi, this is Mike, the PrepperNerd. Wanted to share with you a few updates that I've made to the prep inventory system. Some things that are pretty exciting, I think. I think you'll agree once I get into it. As you can see here on the dashboard, there's been a few updates, and I'm going to show you in the sheets themselves what these updates relate to. You'll notice right here we've got a new horizontal bar chart here for your percent progress towards your goal. So you can track, how far along are you toward, what your ultimate objective is with your prepping. And I'm going to show you how to set your goal in just a moment. Next, everything else in the left column is the same. Everything in the center column is the same so far. Couple changes, minor changes in the right sidebar here. So we've got a new sheet called Supplies Daily Usage. I'm going to show you that. And just a renaming of a couple of these links here just for consistency's sake. Okay, so I'm going to start with the food inventory sheet since, as you know, if you're a user of the system, this is really the bread and butter or nuts and bolts of the system. So I'm going to take my filter off here and I'm going to show you. This is really exciting, actually. There's a new column here in the food inventory sheet for barcode, and I'm thinking that you could probably guess what this column is for. I'm going to go down to, or scroll to the bottom of the sheet here. What this allows you to do is actually, when you're logging your food, when you're adding records to your food inventory, you can, and if you're doing it from a smartphone, you can actually use the barcode reader in the Smartsheet app that you're using to add the food into the sheet and just scan the barcode on the food. Okay, that's the idea. Now we have to build a database of common foods, prepackaged foods that people would want to add to their inventory. So the database is fairly lean right now, but we're working hard on adding food. And actually, as you add your own food records for the barcodes that we don't have quite yet, if you do scan the barcode and then you fill out the rest of the details of that food, it'll help us quite a bit toward building our database. And then it's going to be really easy, really simple to add food. It'll pre-fill the details for you. So I'm just going to show you an example real quick. I guess I'll use this peanut butter record here. So I'm just going to copy this barcode. So just imagine that I just went to Costco. I brought home my Costco haul. I'm putting away my preps. One of those preps is this peanut butter. I'm using the smartphone, my smartphone, using the Smartsheet app, and I scan the barcode on that peanut butter, and it happens to be this barcode. Well, now you can see it just pre-filled a lot of the fields, right? The category, and this is a default. You can overwrite this if you want, if you categorize your food in a different way, but that's a default. Gives you the name or the description of that food item. Obviously, the system won't know exactly where you're putting it, so you can just go ahead and indicate, where, the storage area, the storage container type, and the storage container name if you're tracking those things. Obviously, you would have to put in the best by date if you're tracking best by date. But frankly, a lot of the time that it takes to enter the food is actually entering the description. So this is really helpful and handy and a time saver. So you can see here it pre-fills the measure, right? A serving of this product, this peanut butter, is 2 tablespoons. It doesn't fill the package quantity for you because you need to indicate whether you bought 1 of them, 2 of them, 5 of them, whatever. But it does provide you with the servings per package and the calories per serving. So that's pretty cool, right? As soon as you type in, how many you purchased, let's say I brought home 2 of them, right? It just, these are just calculations over here. So you can see, the calories that equates to and how many days on hand in terms of calories and days on hand in terms of servings that represents. So that's a really key update. I hope you're excited about that. Like I said, it's going to take some time to build the database that of barcodes and their associated products, but we're working hard on doing that, and it's just a matter of time, really. So next, let's see here. Simple update. We updated this the label for this column, days on hand, to days on hand calories, because this represents, for this new record that I added, for example, this represents 1.93 days worth of calories for my family. So if we ate nothing but this product, peanut butter, that's how many, days it would satisfy our calorie requirements for. And that's based on the needs sheet, which as a user you should be familiar with, and I've covered in another video. I've added a new column here called days on hand servings. So this was based on user suggestions. This represents the number of days of servings based on the number of servings that you plan for your family to eat per day. So, based on our expected consumption rate in terms of servings, right, this represents 34 days worth of servings of this category, nuts and nut butter. Okay, so next, cleaned up some of the calculations so you don't see, zeros if there's no, description that's entered yet. And that is it for the food inventory sheet. I think this barcode is really exciting, and I hope you're excited about that as well. I'm going to jump back to the dashboard. I'm going to show you that we have a new sheet here, supplies daily usage. Okay, so now we're going into the supplies and equipment section here. I'm going to click into that, and it's going to show you for some types of categories, we've added the ability, just like you have for your food categories. Now in this sheet, the supplies daily usage sheet, you can indicate how many units you expect to use per day of certain types of supplies, right? So there's certain types of supplies that are just, available for you to use as needed, like medical supplies, things of that nature. But there's some supplies that you're going to use on a more frequent basis, even a daily basis, right? Pet food is a good example of that. Livestock supplies, toilet paper, all of these are kind of daily use supplies. So we've provided you a way to estimate the expected units that you would use per day. And this happens to be sheets of TP per day, for example. And then, based on what you have stored, this is calculated from the supplies sheet. This is the only column that you have to enter anything into, and it'll tell you how many days worth of that supply you have on hand. So that's a nice new feature for you to use. Hopefully, I hope you find that valuable. I'm going to go into the supplies inventory. Again, I've renamed this for consistency's sake, and just want to show you that there's been some new categories added here. So these are those daily supplies that we talked about, and these are more just animal related categories. So they're separated by these separators basically. So there's some new categories for you to use in the supplies inventory sheet. Also, in the supplies inventory sheet, we have this new column called days on hand units. So for those daily supply categories like toilet paper or pet supplies, for example, it'll show you for any record that you have in this supply sheet, how many days on hand in terms of units you have based on how much you expect to use of that category per day for your family. So you can see, for this type of TP, we have this many days, and for this type of TP, I mean, this is just an example, right? But this is the one category that I've implemented this for myself, but I'm just using this as an example for you. All right, so we're going to go back out to the dashboard. So a couple simple updates. Hopefully they're helpful for you there. Our food needs. Okay, so in the calorie requirements sheet here, we have this new assumption that you can add to your system. This is your goal. And actually, if I were to redo the Getting Started series for the PrepperNerd inventory system, I would actually I might start here because in my mind, the goal may be the most important thing that you should be thinking about as you are tracking your prep inventory, right? You're working towards something, right? And if you don't have a goal, you don't know, where you are in relation to that goal. So, and I know from personal experience, not having a goal for a long time made me feel like I was always behind. I was always insufficient. I always needed more. And I never really had a sense of any accomplishment, or maybe accomplishment's not the right word, but that sense that you've met that goal, right? You've met what you set out to do. So without that number of days that you are shooting for, you really never have that experience. Well, now, so if I was just starting off in prepping, I might say, okay, well, my initial goal is 30 days, right? And once I got there, that would feel really good, right? And I would feel like, I did something significant. I accomplished what I set out to do. And then, from there, you might decide, okay, I want to set a new goal of 90 days, right? And you can continue to update this as you progress in your preparations. At this point, in terms of where I'm at right now, I'm shooting for a year. This is based on input, research that I've done, videos that I've watched from a lot of the experts here on YouTube, the content creators here on YouTube. A lot of them are saying, for example, Alaska Prepper recently, that we should be shooting for at least a year. So, that's, input, right? That's just, one form of input for my decision on what I want to shoot for. And I tend to agree that, and especially with regard to where I'm at, I'm fairly close to that goal. It's like right around the corner for me. So that's a good number for me to push for. So that's the goal, the new goal assumption that you can add. And what that does is then it feeds into this progress. So based on your goal and based on the number of days that you of calories that you have stored, then it'll calculate this progress, this percent progress towards your goal. And that is basically everything for this new update here on November 30th, 2020. For those who basically, I updated any user's prep inventory system with these new features who are actively using their system. For those who are not actively using your system, I am more than happy to upgrade your system. I just need to hear from you, and I want to see that you are using it, and that you're getting value from it, because frankly, this takes quite a bit of time, quite a bit of my time. It takes financial investment for me to offer this to you, and I just want to make sure that my time is spent, or I should say focused, on supporting those who are actively using the system, right? Makes sense. So if you haven't used the system for a long time, or if you haven't yet gotten around to getting started, I encourage you to do so. If not, no harm, no foul. Your system is still there. It just will not receive updates as updates are released. So if you get around to starting to use it actively on a consistent basis, then I'm absolutely more than happy to get you upgraded to the latest features. So with that said, that's what I have for you today. I hope you enjoy these new features and that they are helpful to you in accomplishing your goals, in making sure that you're prepared for the next challenge or emergency situation that might be in front of us. So with that said, thank you very much. I appreciate the opportunity to support you.